Hey everybody, good morning. It's Martha Blessing. Welcome to our live training about how to get into alignment with your desires, with the truth of who you are, and to call in what it is that you need and want, what it is that you desire. For the longest time, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Martha Blessing. I am an intuitive life coach, a healing mentor, and a spiritual teacher. And so for the longest time, being intuitive, being in the spiritual, metaphysical world, and all about energy and manifesting, I really got frustrated with this whole idea of law of attraction and alignment and manifesting and all that kind of stuff. I just found that it was really, really difficult. It was difficult for me. I didn't understand it. I read and I read and I read, and nothing happened. I did all of the things that they say to do for law of attraction. I read Jerry and Esther Hicks. I did all of these things, and it just didn't work. So I was like, this is just bullshit. It's just new age, blah, blah, blah. Like, I need real world, 3D, tangible things that are going to create what it is that I want to create. So I pretty much pushed it all aside. And then I started working with a mentor and a coach who really truly had a full understanding of what it was that, how to manifest, okay? How to really truly bring in what it is that you desire and that you want. And so that's what I'm going to talk about today. It's what I'm going to talk about with healing, really anything, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether it's emotional, whatever that is that you want to bring into your life, I'm going to talk about those aspects of it. Please feel free to type your questions into the comments and I will get to those. What is alignment? Like, what exactly is alignment? It's about becoming the truth of who you are. So you have this desire, right? I want to think of an example and a thread that I can use throughout this. So, okay, let's look at it this way. You have a desire, you want to heal your digestion. And you also want to step into being a practitioner, having a business, and you have a vision for doing that work out in the world. Alignment with that is that vision, that dream is coming through you. And something is off balance, something is off kilter if it hasn't happened yet, right? But the desire is there because that good already exists for you. Like, I have had a burning desire for many, many years to help people facilitate healing. And it's changed over the years in how I do that work. I used to be a healing touch practitioner, then I incorporated Ayurveda into it, then I added, I allowed more of my intuitive gifts. I allowed Grayson to channel through me. I allowed myself to be a medical medium. And all of these pieces, I moved through all of this, right? But underneath it all was this burning desire to do healing work and to serve people and to always be striving for the truth. So what happened along that path? What happened along that way when I wasn't healing and when I was healing? Like, I was in a wheelchair to start, and then I wasn't. How did I align with that healing and get myself out of the wheelchair? It is about energy, and it is about frequency, and it's about integrating these wholes, like, it's mindset, it's physical, but every piece of it is all about energy. And so this word alignment, what we're really talking about is getting all of you, all of your being, aligned with what it is that you have burning in you to get out. There's comments. Yay. I don't know why I was not seeing comments. Okay. Sarah Anderson. Good morning, Sarah. And Lisa's here and Karen Whaley's here. Okay. I don't know why I couldn't see comments. Okay. So back to this whole idea. So you have this, there's something in you that only is unique to you. Okay. And you want this to come into manifestation. What we're really talking about is becoming the truth of who you are, and that is your desire, right? So tell me if this is making sense after I finish this. Think like what we're talking about is being magnetic, right? When we're talking about manifesting, when we're talking about alignment, it's about coming into the frequency of what it is that you want. And that used to really, quite honestly, it used to freak me out, and it used to piss me off because I couldn't figure it out. I just, my intuition was like, there is no damn vortex, right? Like I would listen to Jerry and Esther Hicks, and Grayson would tell me, no, there is no damn vortex. Morning, Kimberly. So how do we get to this place? Imagine a grid, imagine an energetic magnetic grid, okay? And you have X on one side and you have Y on the other. You're X and you want to get to Y, okay? You're over here at X and you want to get to Y. This is your vision and your dream. This is what you want. So how does X is your certain frequency, your certain vibration. You might have pain, you might have anxiety, you might have illness, you're not sure what your purpose is, but you know there's something more. And so somewhere in you, you've had a little bit of a vision, a little bit of a dream, like, oh, it would be nice to. You may not even be driven by it, but you're over here as X with this desire and this frequency, and you're living at this particular frequency right now. Makes sense? You want to get over to here. Well, if this is a magnetic grid, what has to happen? What happens when you put magnets together? Bam, right? When it's the correct frequency, there is an automatic, X doesn't have to do anything and Y doesn't have to do anything. They are automatically drawn to each other. Make sense? So you're X. I lost which one was which. You're X and you want to be Y over here. In order to get to Y, you have to become the frequency that matches with Y in order for them to be drawn together. Is this making sense? So what you know to be true is you're now this frequency of X and you want to get to Y. What needs to happen? So in this example of digestion and wanting to have a healing practice, you have to start to believe, number one, that it's possible. We've talked about this in previous live streams. You have to believe, number one, that it's possible. And I think I talked about it last week. What is a belief? A belief is nothing more than a thought that you keep thinking over and over again. That's what a belief is. You've cemented it into your reality. It's a thought that you continue to think over and over again. So it means that you can change that pattern. If you don't believe right now you're at X and you want to get to Y, and you don't believe in it, no one's going to get it for you. No one can get you something that you don't believe in. You have to believe it for yourself. That's number one. So that's the first place. Examining your beliefs. Thanks, Karen. Examining your beliefs. And you know what? They will fuck you up every time. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. This is the root of all of this, is changing the way you think and changing the way you believe. Because your beliefs are what gave you this illness and disempowered solar plexus that's an illness anyway. Okay? So you got X and Y. And what has to happen is you have to change your frequency to align so that they are the same frequency, same magnetic. So here you are in illness and not sure how to build your business and your practice. And then over at this other space at Y, what is that vision? If you guys don't have a pen and a piece of paper, you should go get one. I'll wait. Because I want you to write this down. So you're living this one reality that's X and you want to be Y. How do you get to Y? What is Y? First of all, you have to define that. You have to define Y. You have to define what that looks like. Is it completely healed and perfect digestion? Is it a business or a healing practice? What does it look like? Define it. Okay. Hi, Lorna. How are you? Good morning. Thanks for being here. What does that look like? So you have a belief, you have where you are, and you have where you want to be. How are we going to get these two to line up? It's a frequency, and the frequency of X becomes the same as Y, and they're pulled together. So you have to release beliefs. How do we do that? You just do it. You change your thought process. You have to become the same frequency of Y. So let's say your dream, again, is back to this healing, back to healthy digestion, and you're living as the person that you want to be. You're living healthy, you're having your practice, you're in abundance. You have to write this down. You have to write down how the alignment occurs is you write down everything about that vision, everything about why. Who is the person in that why? What is she doing? What is her life like? How does she dress? How does she talk? How does she act? Who are her friends? Who does she hang out with? What does she do on a daily basis? Create that vision down to every single detail, that you can feel it, that you can see it, that you can taste it, that you can imagine it to every detail. And then the process goes into looking at that vision and feeling it. Feeling it. Really, truly feeling it. Like how I came to manifest my practice and my business and everything that I do right now is I sat and I visualized, who am I? What is my life like? Who are my clients? Who do I talk to? How do I spend my day? What do I do every day? I'm a teacher. That's why I'm here in a live stream. I'm a teacher at heart. I'm an educator. I love teaching people. So I visualize every single thing about that life and who I am and what I'm doing. Make sense? And when I do that in my morning practice, it's different now than it was a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But when I do that in my morning practice, I feel what it feels like. I feel what it's like when I wake up in the morning and I see that clients have signed up for my Body Freedom Blueprint class. I get overjoyed when I wake up and I see, I can't even talk about it without closing my eyes and visualizing. That's how it is for me. Like anytime I have a vision, I'm like, I'm there, I'm dropping in. I can't even talk about it without going into this deep feeling of what that's like, of the joy that it brings me, of the just exhilaration of being able to help people and to work with people and to help them heal and to help them get these concepts and to step into their power and to know that they can heal their bodies. Like, that just gets me so excited. And it brings me great joy. That is a feeling. Now, here's where most people are falling down with all of this. You have a vision for a minute, and you see why, and then you go freaking flying back to X. I'm not there. I'm not there yet. The inner critic takes over, all the bullshit takes over, all the negative self-talk, all the woe is me, and for a couple of seconds, you were over at Y, and now you're back over at X. Right? Sound about right? It's work. I am not going to lie. It's work. It's a commitment. It's a choice. It's a choice to freaking wake up every day and decide that you're not going to stay where you are. It's a choice to do this and be committed to yourself and who you are and what you came here to do and your healing and your path and your purpose. We get too easily stuck in what isn't true, the bullshit and the stories. The truth of healing, the truth of all of this, everybody keeps, you guys know me. I look at, you don't need another book. You don't need another modality. You don't need another crystal. You don't need another anything. You need to change your mindset and make choices on a daily basis and think about who you are and where it is that you want to be and how you're going to get there. It's 80% mindset and 20% strategy. Honest to God. 80% mindset. I did a little quick live stream on the business page, Martha Blessing business page the other day, about the difference, I think it was yesterday, you can go listen to it. The difference between can't and won't. You really need to be honest with yourself between can't and won't. Okay? So you're in this space, you have an idea, you have a desire, you have, you're living in X and you want to be Y. The more times that you spend being Y, thinking like Y, acting like Y, getting your energy to that feeling, it's not enough to just visualize it. You have to feel what it feels like. And you have to go to that place consistently. I do it every single day, every morning, without fail. Now, here's how it comes into being and into reality. Thanks, Sarah. You have a great day, too. Here's how we bring it into reality, okay? Worthiness plus connection equals manifesting in alignment. Worthiness plus connection equals manifestation in alignment. So when you're at X and you want to go to Y, what happens? You start at X, you're thinking about it. Here's where I am, I want to be over here, and you think about why, but then your mind, your inner critic, your old stories, your old beliefs continue to stay at X. And they tell you why you can't have it and why you're not good enough. So back to the beginning, alignment is about becoming the truth of who you are. It's about making new beliefs. It's about creating new stories. Healing is all about changing your story. That's all it is. Healing is about, you've gotten sick, you've got symptoms in your body, you've got inconsistencies and imbalances in your body from stories. And I know that's hard for a lot of people to take, but it's the truth. So you've got a story. The good news is you freaking can change your story. You can choose what you want to believe. Somebody was on, I think it was Lisa last week, about getting the courage to do something, to move forward. You don't get courage by thinking about something. Courage comes from action. There is no way around it. You don't build confidence and you don't build courage from thinking. Thinking just screws you up because most people are just continuing to think the same patterns over and over and over again. So back to this worthiness and connection. Connection to what? Pretty much everybody on here has the belief that there is an infinite intelligence, intelligent substance in our world. You can call it whatever you want, but pretty much everybody believes that. It's running our bodies. It's our life force. It's the energy that creates everything. It's consciousness. You've heard me talk about the 4 levels of consciousness in healing. Call it whatever you want, but acknowledge that this is the truth, that there is some energy that is infinite that creates in the universe. And you are a speck of it. You are itself as a speck of itself. Okay? You are a piece of consciousness that also has the ability to connect with and control consciousness. You're a piece of the universe. We know this. You guys all know this. I think that too many people are focused on this idea of connecting to something outside themselves, to mediumship, and I don't even know, have to go down that road, you guys know, to archangels, to all the woo-woo stuff. But they're not connecting to this truth of their actual energy and physical consciousness having the ability to reach into the cosmos, to send that energy. So here's where I go every morning. And this is the biggest piece right here in how this happens. You don't have to wait for the external world to validate who you are, what you want. None of that. I got really stuck here for a long time in my life, for several years. I would wait for the validation of people, of social media, of clients, of you name it. I needed someone to tell me and show me that I was a successful wellness, body, mind, mindset, healing mentor, spiritual teacher, coach. Okay. I was waiting for something outside of me to tell me that I was good at this, that it's what my path was, it's what my purpose was. The shift happens when you take that person that you know you want to be, that healthy person with really good digestion and a healing practice or a business or whatever it is you want, your purpose. You start to act and become that person right now. You don't wait. You become the energy of that person in your visualization. So I said, write it down. It's so important. So if I'm to be a leader and to help people and lead people to their healing, to their power and their purpose, Who is that person? Like, what does she do? How does she act? How does she behave? Who does she talk to? Who are her friends? What does she do every day? I don't have to wait to be that. I can be that right now. I don't need someone to tell me that I can be that. I already am that. The only thing that stops me is my beliefs and my story. So God and source and consciousness already see me as that because they've planted all of the seeds in me. They've planted all of the desire. I'm the only one that's holding me separate from it by thinking that I need the outside world to validate that. Does this make sense? You guys getting this? And this is where a lot of people are getting stuck. They're thinking about X and Y. They're thinking about where they are, and they're thinking about where they want to be, and they haven't taken any action. You sit in inaction, waiting to try to figure out how to become Y. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait to become Y. You can start being that person right now. You can act as if you are that person right now. And guess what happens? Your energy becomes it. You become Y. You don't become Y by thinking about it. You become Y by being Y. You're over here being X, just be Y. Start doing the things that that person desires. Does that make sense? What else do I want to tell you? So you have to visualize this. You have to get in the space because now you're in alignment. Now the things that you desire when you're in that space, when you feel about it, honest to God, I course correct several times a day. Several times a day I course correct. Because that old story is so ingrained. That old story, that default programming, you have these desires, you have all of this for a reason. And to not be it, to not live it, to talk yourself out of it, right? Everybody's sitting waiting to align with their healing. This is why my work is about clearing the debris. It's why, it's like healing through the back door. Right? It's healing through the back door because when you do the things that are your purpose, that are your calling, that are your desires, you stop constricting all this freaking energy in your body and in your life so that it can come to you. I used to sit there and go, oh, well, where's the people? Well, I have to be seen. If I want the people to come, I have to be seen. It doesn't work any other way. You have to be it first. And then everything that you've asked for, everything that you desire, everything that is in your vision, you are now that frequency. Make sense? Questions, comments? Okay, here's the one thing that's really important, and that is the feelings and the emotions, right? Because you know the difference, right? When you have X and Y, you know the difference. When you're X, what are your emotions? What are your feelings? Sadness, depression, life is hard, this is too hard, I don't know how. Honest to God, I used to tell my coaches and my mentors, I don't know how. And they're like, you're already doing it. What do you mean? Stop saying you don't know how. Like I thought there had to be another tool and another system and another something or other. There wasn't. I already knew how. I was already doing it. It was my mindset and my feelings and emotion and energy to say, I'm a leader. Thanks, Lisa. I'm a leader. So lead. Who is that leader? What does she look like? What does she do? You guys are leaders too. If you're a healer, you're a leader of some kind. You're a leader of some kind. So if you're listening on the replay, anybody that's here after, please, you can type in #replay and you can ask your questions. The other thing I'm thinking about doing a master class on kind of pulling all of these pieces together. If that's something that you're interested in, let me know. Hey, Jeannie Torres, how are you? If that's something that you're interested in doing a master class on this, let me know. I'll likely do it on Zoom, and it'll be recorded, so everybody will have the recordings of it. And I think that's everything. If you're struggling with this stuff, if you are stuck, if you have a roadblock, and you want help, you can certainly get help from me. That's what I'm here to do. If you are struggling with physical stuff, physical healing, the Body Freedom Blueprint is open for registration. It's on the website at marthablessing.com. It is an 8-week guided experience. You listen to modules. You have transcripts, you have audios, you have everything you need to get all of the information and all of the tools. Each week you get a new module, you get some homework to do. We have a group, Facebook group, specifically for the people who are doing the blueprint. You have lifetime access to the group. You have lifetime access to Q&A. We have a special Q&A every week to answer your questions. Let's see what else. Payment plans. It's very powerful, and it's something that you will have. I have used this blueprint over and over and over again in my life. It's how I got from living with fibromyalgia and being in a wheelchair to where I am today. I have done it over and over and over again. It is a foundation. It is a system that you customize to you, to your life, to your body, to your healing, to everything. And it's really interesting. I have a private coaching client that I've been working with 8 months now. And she went back and she did that very first module. And she said her homework, because of all the work we've done during this 8 months, she said her homework for her first module was completely different than when she did it 8 months ago. That's how much she's changed, and her answers have changed, and she's in less fear and less confusion and less uncertainty. So I would love to have you. Thanks, Karen. I would love to have you all join me in the Body Freedom Blueprint, or wherever else. If you're interested in the masterclass, you can type yes in the comments. I'll make sure that you get an email. But put this to use. It's easier than you think. Do it every morning. Write it down. Get in the feeling and the emotions of what it feels like to have and be who and what it is you want. And every time you go to a place that is not that, you have to course correct. You have to come back into it. It's a continue. I do it during the day frequently. It's like, wait, what was it I wanted and needed again? Okay, guys, have a great week. Please reach out to me if you want some help and assistance with any of this, if you're stuck, and I will see you next week. Take care.